Is it spiritual to be angry? I mean, isn't anger a negative emotion? In this video, I'm going to share with you the difference between feeling anger and being angry. And I'm going to share with you some great anger management strategies. Hello, beautiful beings. I'm Carol Rathel, occupational therapist, metaphysical minister. I'm here to help you on your awakening journey, to help you tune into your inner wisdom and have a fulfilling life. Anger is the stepping stone that must be stood on in order to heal or experience spiritual calm. By Carol Rathel. Anger is a part of being human. We were given at birth a whole range of emotions, and anger is just one of them. The spiritual journey is about managing emotions more so than it is about experiencing emotion. Emotion is a natural part of being human. Anger is a natural response to fear, and I'll tell you more on that later. Anyone who has been raised with abuse or even an absence of love is going to have anger trapped in their body. It's there from years of stuffing anger down while trying to please their parents or the authority figure who is abusing them or even not letting them express their feelings. Children in a classroom are taught to behave rather than being taught how to express their feelings in a healthy way. So does this mean we all have buried anger? Well, perhaps it does. If you are in a situation now where you are being controlled, you may find that you have to suppress your anger in order to get along, whether it's a partner, an employer or someone in the workplace, in a community, or even in a country. We must allow ourselves to feel anger. If we do not and stuff it down instead, it can lead to depression, anxiety, social phobias, life-threatening illnesses like cancer and heart disease, self-loathing, and even suicide. And people often project their anger onto others because it's always near the surface, so it can often just take a small thing to erupt. Having been abused in my childhood and having been raised to be a good, polite girl, I didn't learn how to manage anger in a healthy way. Before I healed, I had long practice turning that anger inward. I didn't stick up for myself or my values. I literally gave my power away to the people who willingly stepped in to control my life. Please, if you have experienced abuse and control by others and can relate to my experience, get angry. Don't let it go on to destroy your life. I will give you some tools to get the anger out a bit later, but first let's look at the difference between feeling anger and being angry in our actions. Anger is an emotion that is a natural response to fear. When we fear harm, we can go on being afraid and give them power to do that, or we can choose to power up to stop the harm. Being in fear is a victim type of emotion. It means we feel powerless to the situation or person and is self-destructive. Anger is an emotion of power. It is choosing to step up from the step of fear and galvanizes us to protect ourselves. So when we get angry, our bodies generates lots of adrenaline to send to our muscles, which can then take action to fight off the danger. When we can't fight that threat, we store the anger in our body. And carrying anger around feels like agitation. It feels like not being able to settle. It is about using things like internet, TV, movies, or other people as a distraction to stop feeling. It is tension in the neck and back muscles. If anyone does the smallest thing that we don't like, we might direct all our anger onto them. Unhealthy expression of anger causes harm emotionally and psychologically to other people. And having done that, we then regret what we've done, and of course we turn in any residual anger into us. Healthy expression of anger feels empowering. It's like you're a pot of boiling water with a lid on, and when you can safely take that lid off, it feels absolutely wonderful to be able to release all of that steam that's been built up. As I said, anger is the stepping stone that must be walked on to heal and to gain the spiritual calm you are seeking. So when you've released your anger, you now open yourself up to choose calm. Case in point, in the past I have done some pretty self-destructive things because of buried anger. Since I healed and released all of that anger, the other day a situation came up. There was actually something I read on the internet, and I felt angry and frustrated because it was something I personally couldn't change. But my subconscious just stood me up, and I stood there and I drew a deep breath in and I released it with a ha! And I felt immediately better. I could then choose to feel good. Releasing anger gives you a choice. It gives you the power to choose what emotions you're going to feel. I cannot stress how wonderful and powerful it feels to be able to do that. So let's talk about some ways that you can release anger. My favourite. Go to a place, preferably in nature, where there's no one else around. Say to nature, I'm going to say some shit, nature, and I want you to help me release my anger. And then I yell my head off. I say all the swear words I can think of. I stamp the ground. I swing my arms, and I go for it until I feel like my arms and legs are going to fall off. After that energy has been released, and I feel pretty damn amazing, I sit down and I just allow myself to absorb the energy of nature around me. Nature is healing. Nature gives out the energy of God's love. And so I sit there and I absorb it through all of my senses. Do some hard physical labour. It could be chopping firewood. It feels great to split that axe through a piece of firewood and go, F you! Dig a garden over, or dig a patch of weeds over. Vacuum a house with the brushes down so it takes more effort. Anything that's physical can spend that adrenaline and cortisol that's built up in your body, and you can swear your head off, especially when no one else can hear you. You could go for a brisk walk, or if you're fit and used to it, a run. Get your arms swinging and pump that anger out. Maybe stamp each step if the ground is soft. Walking on sand is perfect because it doesn't jar the joints. Any physical exercise is good, but please do what your body is used to. Going for a run at the age of 50 if you are unfit is very dangerous. Punching the hell out of a punching bag is there for people who are used to doing this. Get physical within your own limits and do what is safe for you. Safe anger releasing is the goal here, people. If you are socially distancing and you can't get out, shut yourself in a room away from other people. Put on a really invigorating song and dance, dance, and dance wildly. If you can, say the words you need to say, or sing the song loudly. If you've got children, tell them what you're going to do. Maybe your children could do it too. It's a really healthy thing to teach your children how to express their anger in a healthy way. When my son was little, we played a game called the rubbish bin game. Just before bedtime, we made up the rudest insults we could think of. We knew we weren't going to hurt each other. It was a game. Obviously, I avoided certain swear words and themes, but it was a lot of fun to get really inventive For him, it released the pent-up emotions from his day, whatever they were. He's a young adult now, and just the other night we had a conversation about how he was going to raise his children. He remembered the rubbish bin game, and he talked about what he was going to let his kids do, and I was really impressed. He was going to let his kids express their feelings. His kids are going to grow up way different to how I did. They're going to be grounded in their body, and they're going to be able to state clearly how they feel when somebody does something, and they're going to be secure in who they are. They're going to know that they have value and they can release their feelings, and it's their right to do it. And that's the wonderful outcome of releasing anger in a healthy way. We stand up for ourselves, and we feel good about standing up for ourselves. We can say no to our oppressors or people trying to control us without being afraid of what they're going to do, because we know we have a choice. We can either stay there and take it, or we can say no and get them out of our life or make changes in our own life. We do not have to take it. And knowing that we love ourselves, it's an act of love to stand there and say no. So when we feel anger, we can release it in a healthy way. And when we get angry and be angry when somebody does something, we're not going to throw all of our life's worth of anger onto them, but we're going to be able to express it in a healthy way. So I hope you find this helpful. There's a lot of anger management strategies in this. Maybe go back through and write them down and make plans for yourself to release past anger if you need to. And I look forward to seeing you, and I will be waiting for you in the next video. Bye for now.